then gives you the breakdown of the premixes that I needed to do the breakdown. So this is what I say, that there is a lot of helpful information on the internet. Some things you might find, some things you may fail to find in these mixtures, but that does not mean that you then stops you from actually doing this mix. The more you do it, the more you'll be able to find replacements for some of these products which are being listed. But as you can see, normally the main thing is a premix sachet. So a premix sachet, what you would then go and do is actually go into a company which does premixes, and you buy that sachet. Groundnut seeds, if you have got groundnuts, you can use groundnuts. If you don't, you can probably find a replacement for groundnuts. Then you go for maize and corn. That is normally common. Barley is common. Maize brand, high quality. This maize brand is normally just breakdown of maize which has already been blended. So that is what is known as maize brand. And then we've got wheat brand. This is also again from whatever is left off from the shells of the wheat. That's what they're asking for. Fish meal, if you do not have fish meal, you would then find a replacement for the fish meal, and the same way with bone meal. So some of these things are replaceable if you do not have these things available where you are. So that's the nice thing about all this mixing, and then it gives you a calculation for that 100 and what you need to do. So as I said, all these things are very good when you want to learn how to do. So broiler concentrate, you also can get that. You get down 10% concentrate. You can use a broiler concentrate for micro packs with a mix ratio of 10%. So it gives you a nice breakdown and areas that it will help you. And then you can see from here, if you do not have something that is not available, you just off click, and then it will then work around and give you a new figure of what you need. So this recipe is meant for you to be able to remove what you can find and what you are able to find, and then replace it. If there's something else that I feel that I can replace it with, like ground cake, I then say that I can replace with ground cake, and it will then say give you. Then you can then, once you go to the market and then you see how much roughly per kg, you can then put your calculation into how many it is per kg, and then it will then formulate for you the total cost that is going to cost. So these are the nice things about some of these apps, because not only are they giving you information, but you're also able to readjust information according to availability of the things that you want to do in your country. So that is normally for starter, finisher, fit for broilers, standard broiler recipe for starter. So it gives you quite a nice range of recipes which you can use. And once you see that you are able to do this kind of formulation, it's also very then useful. So for me, I use it for the broilers. Same for the layers. It also does the same thing. Like when it's in laying feed, like currently I'm on laying feed. How many layers do I? Let's say 100. You put your 100 feed there, you then come down into it, it gives you a recipe. Premix sachet. I do not have premix sachet. Here I can get a layer concentrate. Then you put in the layer concentrate. Then you come down and you look, barley, blood meal. I do not have blood meal, I do not have blood ash. What it then also does in the background is that if it sees that you have removed a lot of these other items, it will then probably increase until it still comes back to the same feed formulation as in the amount of quantities that you need to have the same good quality feed that you do have. So once you also then go through this, as for me, we do not have fish meal available around. So molasses is available. So rape cake is not something that is available. Sesame seed cake, yes, that is something that's available. Sorghum is available. So you just then tick off what is available to you, and then after that you say, how's my recipe? Then it will then calculate how much you need to come up to your 250 calories per kg for my layers. And then obviously here it's giving me a price, but these prices are wrong because I'm not currently using this right now, not for this, for the purposes of this, I've not put in the correct prices as in where they are here in Zimbabwe. So how much to feed, it then gives you how much kgs that you need to feed from week 1 until point of lay. And that's very important, because we're looking at how much we need to feed, when we need to feed, and then now obviously it's you, how do you then break it down when they start laying. Look, per day we will need to 400 intake, we're needing to per week we need about 100 kgs that we need to feed. So then if I want to change per day, it tells me that I need to for 100 birds I need to feed 14 kgs per day. So these are the nice things about this program. It is also very useful when it comes to actually understanding bit by bit and how much you need to feed and how to come up with your own formulation. For me, I actually use it mainly for my pigs. This is where I actually have been using this calculator, because I actually use it for my pigs, because it's got, for me, the formulation that I do have here is when I have got pigs. For me, if small starter feed, standard starter, small holder, it means that I'm a person who's got a small holding. I cannot afford to do big batches, so therefore I would be the one who would be on small starter. So I will have starter, grower, finisher. That is the 3 formulations that I have. If I then have a big place that I'm doing and I've got a lot of pigs that I then need to do, then I'll need to do a feed for it, a standard feed, a lactation feed. All these now feeds then come into play. But just because I'm a small holder, I will just mess around with the first 3 until I start learning about that. So I've got, let me say, like now I've got 9 piglets, even though they have not yet started to feed. Then I do have a pre-mix sachet. This I do buy, because I buy this from Feed Mix, so therefore I do have that. Barley, yes, I do have. I do not use blood meal here normally, or blood ash. These are the things that I do not use. Brewer's grain, I do use it when I can find it available. Cotton seed cake, yes, I do use. And fish meal, I do not use. Groundnut seeds, I do not use, but I normally use the seed cake when I get it available. So as I said again, all these things are very, very useful for a person who is trying to learn or to come up with recipes which are not very confusing. Once you learn to do all these things and how much you need from each and every one of these products, it then helps you move on to how to then make the recipe. It then gives you how much I need to make, how much do I need to feed, starting feed between 6 to 25 kgs. So I'm here, I've got a 1000. Obviously I may not be able to have 1000. Let me say I just need 200. I can only start off with a 200 kg. Therefore it then shows me that I just need about $53 that I need, and then it automatically now reduces for me all the other quantities of goods that I need to purchase. So I do see that all these things are very useful. I have just talked about the first 3: broiler, layers, and pigs. For those who like to learn about catfish, you would automatically need to go into it. So as I say, this is a 100% free app, so you just need to download it, follow the instructions, and then go through it. This is very useful for those people who want to learn about making their own feeds, and this I know will help a lot of people make their own feeds. I will probably show you once in a while how I do make my feed. And also they've got another nice thing that they've just added recently: find input suppliers. So once you press this, it will then give you it will ping where you are, and then it will give you your local suppliers in your area. I really do not want to put it on, but it does that for you. Well, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Until next time.